Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I just gotta say congratulations to Ontario Provincial Police, to Spencer Mills 14716, to Staff Sergeants, to ex-Chief, to Shannon Cork, to Robert Keane, to Robert Lucas, to Stacy, a mental health worker, and to Shelley Hafner, to Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, Stacy's girlfriend, to Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, Triage Nurse Terry, Triage Nurse Tanya, Triage Nurse David, and Paladin Security, William Bill Woldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jabin Allstein, Ray Ray, Sam, Michelle, Isaac, Allie Cooper, Bucktooth Bob, bald-headed guy, crowbar mustache, glasses. I believe his right name is Robert Berry. A woman on the corner of Center and Thomas, side door entrance, Curtis, and Curtis. You are all guilty. I'm being seriously injured. Billy Woldridge, Blair Hardy, you're guilty of my identity theft. OPP is guilty of injuring, torturing, sex assaults, false arrest, lies, time buying, cover-ups, arrest refusals except for on your victims to deflect, medical blacklisting, medical treatment refusals, medical discrimination, human rights violations, medical violations, legal rights violations by OPP, kidnapping, 24 hours after asking for help against them, May 27, 2021, to prevent help. I get numbed down to be dumbed down on a daily basis by what is called remote neuromonitoring, and what it does, it's basically destroying my insides. I'm a victim of identity theft. I go through identity change on a daily basis by having probably 30, 40 different people in Napanee using remote neuromonitoring on me, passing it around. And when they are passing it around, I am in the process. They're using it and broadcasting through me, and it's causing my identity theft. It's causing my identity change. It's causing me serious body mutilations. They're guilty of OPP, are guilty of the murdered and missing. They're guilty of financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, financial thefts and frauds, forgeries, false arrest, human sex trade, slavery, trafficking children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders. My whole right side has been completely destroyed. I no longer feel myself. I no longer feel my consciousness. I have no stimulation in my head or my brain whatsoever from being injured. I was going to go to the hospital yesterday. I phoned Paladin Security to see if they were allowing people at their hospital. So, and the woman that was working said yes. So I was going to go to the hospital, and conveniently I got a phone call from an unavailable number, and when tried to phone back, stated it was non-existent, but they left me a message stating that I shouldn't go to the hospital, pretty much telling me to stay away. Worst part is I don't know who it come from because it was a blocked, unavailable number. I do know it was a man, though. Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North. They are guilty of stalking my mother. They're guilty of using remote neural monitoring on her, and they are guilty of causing her cancer, causing her death with intent. Through the EMFs and radiation from it caused tumors, causing her death. They also did it. They are also guilty of murdering my ex-neighbor, a guy named Anson, by giving him cancer. Blair Hardy was up at Mike's all the time, Mike Gordon's, and when he was up there, then he was using remote neural monitoring on me, and it was affecting Anson, and as a result, it gave him cancer. I believe that 100%. But as you can see, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, and the rest of you pieces of shit involved, my identity theft is done. This is what happens in Napanee when you speak of police crimes. This is what happens when you try to save lives. You get injured, you get tortured, you get skull split, you get brain injured, you get sodomized, you get kidnapped, you get medically blacklisted, you get all kinds of lies out the ass against you. You get medical treatment refusals, you get medical discriminations. William Wooldridge, Hells Angels Ontario chapter leader. Blair Hardy is a Banditos Ontario chapter leader. Drug trafficking, the overdoses that have happened in Napanee are from them. They're using R&M for human trafficking. They are obviously using it for identity thefts. I have prisoner tracking on me from Billy Wooldridge, who is a sex offender, who OPP are harboring because he is their boss and because he is co-offender and human trafficker to OPP. He is untouchable. He's unarrestable. I've been trying for 3 years. Remember how you laughed in my face, Shannon Cork, when I told you to arrest your boss? As then he went on to stalk my mother and kill her with Blair Hardy, and you knew exactly what was taking place, just like you knew exactly what was taking place with this. My skull's been deformed about 50 different ways, shapes and sizes, flattened, rounded out, elongated, shortened. I'm getting my head and my face burned out by electricity on a daily basis. I get woke up every morning, every night about 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's usually when OPP is doing their drug deliveries to Tyler, to Tyler Lake, to Javen Alstein, to Ray Ray. That's usually where they're delivering it, is to those places, to Blair Hardy, and dropping heroin off or whatever to William Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North. So let this be a lesson. Anybody in Napanee that's been charged by OPP, fight it, because it will not be real. It will be fake. It will be done to human traffic you. It will be done to completely and totally fuck you. You are guilty, OPP. Lennox and Annington County General Hospital doctors, one named Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, and the rest, of murder. You just committed the biggest crime in the history of this town successfully. How much was I sold for, OPP? How much did you sell me for, Spencer Mills? How much was I bought for, Blair Hardy? You piece of shit goof. Same with you, Tyler Lake, you fucking 31-year-old piece of shit little fucking bastard. That's what you are. You are a bastard in every way. Jabin Alstein, you are nothing but a low-life scumbag. Every time you use remote neural monitoring on me, you fucking pig, I smell shit. Because you probably hasn't bathed in the last 40 fucking years, you scumbag, low-life piece of shit crackhead. You are nothing more than OPP cocksuckers. You are a means for them through them giving you drugs. You are a means for them for revenge, for homicides. I'm not taking a fall OPP for Billy Wooldridge, and I'm not taking a fall for Blair Hardy either, because of me having their prisoner tracking in me, and because of the R&M on me, and obviously the changes that I'm going through. So if I'm out and about, there will be no mistaken identity. It will be done on purpose. OPP are very well aware that I am doing this. They see me doing this. They hear me doing this, along with Billy Wooldridge, along with Tyler Lake, along with Jabin Alstein and the rest. I haven't had a moment of myself in the last 3 years from these fucking lowlifes using this on me. A justice of the peace making accusations stating that I'm high on marijuana and being ripped, having my fucking ass ripped open and being sodomized by Staff Sergeant Wooldridge. I don't fucking think so. Done to obstruct, to protect your boys. It also looked like you just got finished railing a big line of cocaine and you reeked of alcohol or whiskey at 10 a.m. in the morning, having the bald guy from the OPP come into the office standing behind me to basically threaten me and intimidate me when I'm there to make statements against police. How too convenient would that have been? And I had to tell the guy to get away from me because I was definitely feeling threatened. Me being alone in that room with them, I don't think so, especially with the fucking cop when I'm making statements against them. Yeah, me being alone, I don't think so. Would have been too perfect. The guy works at the courthouse. He's a bald guy. I just want to say that this is done. After 3 years, you got your fucking identity theft. I feel nothing left of myself. Maggie Falls is an undercover and a pill pusher. There's Bert Hustler. There's a guy named Isaac who now has blonde hair. Like I said, the woman on Center Street in Thomas, side door entrance, she's obese. There's Curtis. There's a Sarah. There's an Allie Cooper. There's a homeless woman named Michelle. All here in Napanee, and they all work with and for Hells Angels, Bandito Cops, which is Spencer Mills, which is the ex-chief, which is Staff Sergeants Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas. If you want to commit identity theft, you come to Napanee. If you want to commit homicides, you come to Napanee. If you want a drug deal, you come to Napanee. It's all legal here. Because 90% of the crimes that happen here are through OPP and their boys. I am the end of my bloodline OPP, so this and Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, you are not only guilty of having my mother murdered, you're guilty of doing this to me with the intent to murder an entire bloodline because I am the last of mine. You fucking pieces of shit garbage. Let this be a lesson. Anybody that's been involved with OPP, Lennox and Addington Napanee, I would fight everything that they have done because nothing that they do is legal. Nothing. They've never done anything legal. I've proven it. They will stop you at every way, shape, and form. Illegally putting prisoner tracking on their victims to stalk. Lies against me stating I have long criminal record and history. I don't have no criminal history or record, you fucking goofs. Except for when you tried to have me falsely charged to deflect the crimes against me through the hospital with the doctors to prevent your arrest and charging that I've been trying for the past 3 years. But how too convenient it can be done to me? Okay. You've done everything to take my fucking rights so you can get away with your crimes. You're using your badges, your positions, false guise of law, your lies. The doctors are using their credentials and you're covering each other's asses. OPP cover for the doctors, and the doctors cover for OPP, and you're all covering for your Hells Angels and Bandito bosses. You are covered for fucking scum like Tyler Lake, for fucking scum like Jabin Alstein, for fucking scum like Blair Hardy, for fucking scum like Billy Wooldridge, serial killing pieces of shit. OPP are still associated to Russell Williams. They are friends with a serial killer, Russell Williams, still, and so is Blair Hardy and Billy Wooldridge. Conveniently, they're fucking untouchables. So, let this be a lesson. You speak of police crimes, you will end up injured, tortured, sodomized. You will be medically blacklisted. They will lie out their asses against you, especially if you are poor, homeless, native. Yes, OPP is guilty of murdered and missing. You're racist pieces of shit. You're guilty of many, many crimes here in Napanee that you have committed, and you've had it covered up through Lennox and Addington County General Hospital on your victims, including possible many homicides. OPP. You became cops to commit the crimes that you are committing, to be above suspicion, and to get away with them. And I will not be proven wrong. You've proven me right on every step of the way for the past 3 years. Billy Wooldridge, 149 Center Street North, you are nothing but a lowlife fucking goof. You're lucky you suck OPP pipe. You're lucky you give them blowjobs. Same with you, Blair Hardy and Tyler Lake. You're lucky you're untouchable. I would love to see you in jail, but I am not going to be shot for trying to save my life by a bunch of fucking scumbag police and killer doctors who all need to be arrested and all who need to be charged. There's also a psychotic bitch on Water Street named Kim Della Rossable, and there's a Brandy as well on Water Street. And they all use this on me. There's a guy named Mike here in town. He's homeless. He lives in a tent or a trailer. He's guilty of using this on me. You are all guilty of attempted murder on me, whether you realize it or not, you fucks. You are a means to an ends for OPP revenge through them giving you this tech to mentally fuck me up in hopes that I go crazy, in hopes that I commit a crime, in hopes that you can justifiably commit more fucking crimes against your victims. You are terrorists. You are guilty of domestic terrorism, using remote neural monitoring, which is police and military tech for criminal activity and purposes. You've proven for 3 years you are nothing but filth scum. You've done everything to take my life. You've taken my memories, doing this to me. How fucking dare you, so you can have sex with children? Because that's what it's about. I was shot by the ex-OPP chief and somebody in a black truck back in 2019. And that's when my problems started, and that's when the lies, the time buying, the cover-ups, my stalking by William Wooldridge began. I have to lose my life. I have to lose my identity. I have to lose my everything so Billy Wooldridge can stay free and fuck little kids with police. Anybody thinks identity thefts cannot happen? I am proof that it does. So beware of this. Watch yourselves. Watch your children. Watch your family. They are pedophile sex offenders as well. And none of them are arrestable. They're Hells Angels, they're banditos, they're human trafficking, human sex trade, slavery trafficking, and they are using the remote neural monitoring for invasive surveillance on their victims. They are using it illegally to spy on victims, to watch them naked, to have total surveillance. I was sold by OPP for this to me for revenge retaliation. Wasn't I OPP? How much fucking money did you make from me? How much money did you take it upon yourself to sell me OPP? How many others have you done this to for murder? How many insurance policies have you collected, Spencer Mills, with your boyfriend Blair Hardy and with Billy Wooldridge and the rest, murdering victims? How much money did you make from my mother? How much did the doctors make? How much did you pay Paladin Security to kick me out of the hospital that day illegally, to keep me from help? Did you promise them drugs? Did you promise them money? Or did you promise them a job of becoming a cop? I've been completely and totally right brain lobotomized, and I haven't been able to go to the hospital or get help for it. I would go to the hospital and they would think that I was just there with a headache. I was being called a retard by Dr. Waldron. I'd go there with my skull swelled up, and I was told that I needed a head shrink, pun intended. This is the kind of fucking filth that works at Lennox and Addington Hospital that cover crimes up for OPP. The police you think you know, and the doctors that co-commit and cover their crimes up with and for them. The longer this goes on and the more times I am gonna be worse and worse and worse, and they're getting away with it, and there's fuck all I can do about it. Especially when I'm getting threatening phone calls to stay away from the hospital and having to phone actual Paladin security to find out if it's okay if I go there to try to save my life from doctors who are involved in helping take it through OPP, through Stacy, through Tatiana. You probably signed off more death certificates for her than anybody else. Kinda convenient I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in almost 7 to 10 years, and then all of a sudden I have all of this falsified file on me and all this other bullshit. Okay, and that conveniently happened after my CAT scans and Stacy talking to her girlfriend Tatiana. I had nothing to do with that psychotic, vindictive, fucking scumbag bitch who now lives in Kingston, Ontario. You're lucky that you have a pussy to lick that works at a hospital, so you can use her to fuck you over, to fuck your victims over, and keep them from help. So you're lucky that nobody in this town is arrestable. Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Javen Alstein, Ray Ray, Sam, you're lucky that you own OPP. You are lucky that you are the ones that give the orders to them in this town, because they are Hell's Angels and Banditos and they have to take orders from you. You're pedophiles, you're fucking sex offenders. The police you think you know. So, if anything more happens to me because of this, and I cannot get help, guilty of murder in the first degree will be OPP Spencer Mills, staff sergeants, the men, not Christine, although she's possibly involved. They've been changing police around, bringing in new ones because of what's going on, in hopes to get away with this, in hopes to buy more time. And that's exactly what the fuck this is about. They waste time, they buy time. And this is how they get away with their crimes, and then they come in afterwards. Oh, we're so sorry, we did not know, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Meanwhile, they got paid vacations. You know what? Society has become so bad that we pay police to murder us through the guise of law. We pay them to murder us, and then we give them vacations for it. How stupid are we? under the false sky of law, when OPP are the biggest criminals with their Eugene Quinney Detention Center is a means to human traffic after they're criminalizing their victims. How many homicides have you had covered up through their OPP? And there's probably been a few. And I bet there's obviously probably guards that work there that are involved as well. This is one dangerous fucking town through OPP. They got a justice of the peace to cover their ass. They got a mayor that says that people are on OW and ODSP, low income, are automatically considered to be dangerous offenders and drug addicts because of your monetary status. Using the Morning Star mission to collect financial information on victims through your false fucking income tax clinics and getting people's financial information and then passing it around to certain people. Right, Kevin Alkenbrack, like you were doing to Spencer Mills, and then he starts showing up at people's houses to threaten and intimidate them when you were kicking people out of the mission after you started this bullshit. Ones that knew what were going on and could speak up and say something about it, so you were going around threatening them, kicking them out. This here is Chris, but it's obviously not me. No, no matter what you do, when OPP want to take a life in Napanee, I am proof that they will get away with it. And there is nothing that you can do to save your life against Spencer Mills. I've tried to get legal help. I've walked into lawyers' offices and I've been told as soon as I walked in there, you can't afford us, not knowing anything what's going on. First words is, you can't afford us. Or I've been told that doctors are partially, lawyers are partially retired, like Smart. I went in to talk to him and I was told by his secretary that he is partially retired and he is no longer taking anybody on. So if he's partially retired and he's nobody taking anybody on, what the fuck is he still in business for? I hear sirens going, so obviously OPP are making their drug runs to their people. Oh, that sounds like fire or ambulance. But when you hear sirens a lot of times in this town, it is the police actually doing drug runs. Isn't that right, Spencer Mills and Robert Kane? And you're doing it to Blair Hardy, to Tyler Lake, who's probably at his mother's right now at the funeral home with his woman Holly, who uses this on me as well. You're lucky that you have a means to commit homicides and other serious crimes, and there's not a thing that anybody can do about it because it's here in Napanee. So, you won, OPP. You fucking won, Lennox and Edmonton County General Hospitals. In one way or another, you are all going to legally fucking pay for what you did to me. You want to take my memories, you want to seriously injure me, you want to torture me, you want to kidnap me, sex assault me, frame me, spy on me 24/7. You look at my nuts, you watch me shit. You masturbate when I'm having a piss, when you see my balls, OPP. And Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy, does it turn you on looking at my nuts, watching me have a shit, even seeing how I wipe my ass? This is the kind of sick fucking perverts that you are. And I bet they are doing it to children in Napanee as well, and females and other men as well. Blair Hardy, he is a seriously obsessed homosexual. William Wooldridge, he is a seriously obsessed homosexual. Tyler Lake, he is a seriously obsessed homosexual. His woman Holly is a cover for him. Jabin Alstein is a seriously obsessed homosexual. Ray, he is a seriously obsessed homosexual and a child groomer. Sam, his roommate, she is a child groomer and a sex offender. Homeless woman Michelle, She is a sex offender. So they are all sex offenders, and they are all either pedophiles. Yes, Blair Hardy is also a pedophile. Anybody who knows him, watch your children around him because he's looking to fuck them. And he will get away with it because those crimes are legal, trust me. They'll have Dr. Barton and Pritchard cover up for him and then try to have their victims committed for it having it happen to them just to protect their bosses' asses. I've proven it. I'm being dumbed down to be dumbed down. I'm feeling less and less of myself. I'm getting nothing but electricity right here on the whole right side of my head and in the back of my head. My skull's getting deformed worse and worse, more and more. Right now, I'm getting broadcasted through on this side of my head by, oh fuck, by Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy. My skull's been split. I showed it. I can prove it 100%. Called a lie by the hospital. I was told that my hat fits, so there's nothing wrong with me. They obviously can look at a person and internally tell. I've had possible strokes because of the hospital. Me having to go there, being rushed by ambulance, and me telling them that I cannot go to Lennox and Addington Hospital because they will not see me and it will do no good. Oh yeah, yeah, they gotta treat you. They will treat you. And I promised them, no, they won't. I get there, and as soon as the fucking ambulance drivers left, I went there the one time and I was asked by Joy Hadley, "What do you expect us to do for you, Mr. Wood?" I could barely move. I didn't know what was going on. I get rushed to the hospital. I had to pretty much crawl out of that hospital to bring a taxi home. Being kicked out by Paladin security, being attempted locks in rooms by Terry, the triage nurse, having him call me on in fights as well, and other bullshit. They are very seriously fucking dangerous people. They've been working with him for OPP for so long and getting away with crimes for so long that they believe that they are untouchable. They believe that they are above all laws. And I've proven it. They are very seriously fucking dangerous people. And they have laws to protect. If you ever have a problem at Lennox and Addington Hospital, do not ever contact public relations. Do not ever contact patient relations. You'll be accused of harassment and all this other bullshit for wanting doctors arrested and charged, so they will come up with their scheme, co-commit with it to do to you to fuck them over to prevent their arresting and charging. Isn't that right to the ones who work there? And then saying they're fucking scared of me. Bullshit. For no reason. I'm being turned into a vegetable. I'm no longer on my own fucking consciousness. So you're doing this. You're just lucky. If I could get an MRI or anything else done, it would prove a lot. I even went to Belleville General Hospital, and the first words out of their mouth was by a French doctor that works there. He was a real piece of shit. Like, I mean, he was a super ignorant motherfucker. He has a beard and mustache, black hair. But the first words out of his mouth, and I could barely understand them, but what I could was, "We're not seeing you, we're not doing nothing because we seen your file." I went to Belleville General Hospital and wasted my time trying to get help because they said they seen my fucking file, my falsified file. Getting phone calls in Kingston stating I'm suicidal and a drug addict, and them believing it because I had long hair and my tattoos at the time, and whoever the fuck it come from. And none of it is certainly true, but it was done to buy time and to prevent me from getting help. 90% of the time, or 10 chances to 1, it was a call from Stacy to them bastards. So, and none of yous have to prove nothing. So, time's been bought, and it will come to where you do attempt to turn this around on me. I make no mistake about it. OPP is going, and the doctors and everybody, they are going to attempt to turn this back on me, to deflect everything back onto me, because they conveniently bought their time, because this identity theft's pretty much done, and I am being mentally fucked. They're just waiting to the point where I am completely done, and then they are going to move in and fuck me the rest of the way. I guarantee it. I say that without paranoia in any way, shape, or form. And I don't want anybody to think that this is any kind of mental illness in any way, shape, or form. I do not hear voices. I do not have hallucinations. I do not have any delusions thinking I'm somebody I'm not. I don't have multiple personalities. I am one person, but I have many living through me criminally, illegally, being done to me in hopes to mentally fuck me up through what is called remote neuromonitoring. This is how they are mentally screwing people up too. A lot of people who are not aware of this tech and how it operates in a person has it used on them, they may think that they are going crazy. They may think that this and that's going on with them, and meanwhile, it is actually this tech that is doing it to them. Well, they think that they are being coming down with whatever the case may be. So let that be a warning. I have no feeling. It feels like I have an air tube in my lung now on my right side. Luckily, I can't go to hospitals or do anything to save my life or an attempt to. This is how you assure your murders in Napanee, OPP, right, Spencer Mills? I am a revenge retaliation victim, so you can get your dick sucked, and so you can continue committing murders, and so you can continue false arresting, having sex with children, pedophilia, sex slavery, trafficking. You make your money that way. You make your money through drug trafficking. Robert Kane, Blair Hardy, Spencer Mills, Billy Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Javen Alstein, they are the ones that are lacing the drugs that are being sold in Napanee for the addicts to take and to overdose on for the purpose of killing them. Isn't that right, Blair Hardy? Isn't that right, Spencer Mills, Robert Kane, William Wooldridge? Of 149 Center Street North, last known used name, Chris Wood, love all, hate none. I'm gonna get off here. OPP, you were fucking filth. You're lucky that nobody in this town is arrestable. You did it. You fucking did it. 3 years of doing this to mentally fuck me up. I have nothing but electricity in my head. My skull's been deformed every way, shape, and form, and I have proven it. And I can still prove it while being called a fucking liar to prevent me help. Chris Wood, love all, hate none. Watch yourselves, watch your children, because they are seriously dangerous people here.